Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Danny Lee OGT here, my partner in crime, OGL. How you doing, bub?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I'm about to take some clothes to my mother to get them washed.
As a son should.
That's yeah. I have a reason other than laziness. So I wanted OGL here to he's a symphonic metal guy, originally 80s metal, hair metal. That's what it's labeled, hair metal, but he likes to just say metal, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. Don't like labels that much anyway. So I've been a huge Stain fan my whole life. By the way, Nestor lyrics, thank you, bub. This video is cool. It's a lyric video. It's not the official video. Aaron Lewis went to country for a while, and I like the original material. I don't know if I listened to it past that, because I do like the Country Outlaws, and that's a label as well. But Aaron, his work, he's just phenomenal. He's got a great voice. I've always said that he's not included in that conversation of greatest voices, and I think he should be, totally. He has a scream. He has clarity. He's a great songwriter, great guitarist. Nothing bad to say about Aaron. So I will sit in on the next reaction. For this one, I'm going to peace out. OGL knows that this is an iconic bass line, and he knows this is the first album, Dysfunction, which I had the CD, the physical copy, he's put in my car.
Oh, wow. It's awesome.
And
yay.
So yeah, it's been a long time, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and maybe I'll be back for the end. I don't know. This ain't Linkin Park, so yeah. Sorry,
That's what you did there.
Bad joke. I'm a Tool fan. What do you say? All right, guys. Peace out. Much love and respect to y'all. Mental health is real. And OGL, you got this, man.
All right, thank you, Danny. Tell your mother I said hello.
Yes, sir.
Do the dutiful son thing. So as Danny mentioned, I'm a big, basically a metal guy in general. Took a weird path though. I'm familiar with a lot of obscure bands that a lot of people would have never heard of, but a lot of the mainstream acts, especially from the last few decades, I'm not familiar with at all, which is great for a reaction. Stained is a band that Danny has brought up a number of times, and I trust Danny's taste. Who was that other band he mentioned sometimes? Tool, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're okay, right, guys? And I can think every one of their albums was in the top Billboard Top 20 at one point. Yeah, it was okay. Anyway, but I'm very, very interested in hearing Stained. So this is Mudshovel. This did pop up a lot when I was trying to Google best Stained song. So I kind of wanted to surprise Danny with a Stained reaction. Ended up giving up on that because I really wanted him to pick the song. Anyway, so let's check out Mudshovel by Stained. Oh, wow. That's the bass line he was referring to.
Take away. I feel the same.
Okay, so I realize I'm pausing really quick. I just want to say, like, his voice is so 90s to me, but in a good way, because he reminds me tonally a bit of Lane Staley. Maybe not quite as much power. His voice is a lot cleaner. But sort of the emotion is there. And it also reminds me, believe it or not, of Kurt Cobain, because it's sort of that when you say a word like whine, it has a negative connotation, but it's kind of it's actually a pretty effective emotional tool. So it's got that whine in it, but his voice is obviously it's fuller and feels more controlled than Kurt's. So I'm gonna go back and start this again. But yeah, that bass line and the vocal hooked me right off the bat. Let's go all the way back. Here we go.
You take away.
Like that breathy push at the end.
I feel the same.
So a minute in, I'm already pausing twice. His eye and the way he sort of combines vowel sounds on feel, where there's almost like a bit of an O in there. Probably using like a rounder mouth shape to get more sound out. See, I actually gained more of an appreciation for grunge listening to the charismatic voice. Break down and dissect some classic grunge songs from bands like Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains, and she talked about how a lot of those bands use a very closed mouth type. That's sort of like you get that nasal sound when you sort of close off the mouth. It's I mean, obviously this one isn't nearly that nasal, but the nasality is there. It sounds like he might be using a more open mouth. Again, more like Lane to get that big, powerful sound out. I love how this vocal line sounded when it was brought back over that after that guitar riff came in. The guitar riff was very cool. There's a lot of activity in that, and they dropped that out. That actually sort of reminds me of some of the dynamics on Tool's Undertow album, where they would they would bring in something heavy and then sort of drop some of that out and have like lighter rhythmic elements and the vocals over that. But I love how they set up that vocal line and then brought it back. I'm gonna start from the beginning again because I really like how the song is building, and I promise I'll try to let it go a little bit longer before stopping. Just blame Aaron Lewis for being so good at songwriting and singing.
You take away.
It's good diphthongs there too.
I feel the same.
Rasp at the end kind of has that Lane Alice in Chains feeling. business is about to pick up again. I'm gonna go back. I really like how the dynamics are used in this song, because you had you had the bass line, then the vocal melody came in, and then you had that guitar come in. The guitar riff was really good because it felt like it had this ascending and descending passage, almost like a waveform. Um, it's trying to describe the sound. It's had like almost like a scratchy sound. It sounded, I guess, sort of dissonant, um, which sort of contrasted with the vocal, which sounded a bit more harmonious. So they bring the guitar riff in, and the guitar riff drops out. The vocal comes in, and then the guitar riff comes in, and a different vocal line comes in. So I'm going to try to go back a bit and point out the things that I liked in there. See, I like how he used the rhythmic accents there. It's, again, sort of has that, it's a nice sounding melody, but he's, I lost myself inside your taint. So there's those punchy rhythmic bits there that kind of make those words stand out. And otherwise that melody would just be nice. But those punchy rhythmic elements, again, so very sort of reminiscent of Tool. Aaron's singing style is very different from Maynard's, but he's using a lot of similar songwriting and vocal techniques. See, now I need to actually do some research, see if those were just like sort of staples of like 90s songwriting. I'm going back again. Voice has got more rasp in it now. That's got a great example of that sort of push and pull, where sometimes it sounds like he's singing very almost subdued, and then all of a sudden there'll be a couple words that have like all this percussive energy about them. Awesome riff. Pausing at the exact same spot, but I like the cutoff on stuck. He's been like sustaining all of these lines. It goes stuck. Again, it makes the line rhythmic, but he's not having to add the extra punch to it this time. A few things that I noticed here. First of all, the chorus they kind of Iron Maiden that, and by that I mean, and that's not a bad thing, but it's like Iron Maiden, their chorus is like you have a line and you repeat it 4 times. He just took the word, repeated it 8 times, but there was a very interesting vocal effect there, uh, which kind of made the vocal sound like it was immersed in mud. Once again, it's very effective. It was another new sound for the song to sort of keep you off balance. I am really impressed by how the song has these very definite parts and how Aaron is able to sort of keep rearranging them. And so whenever they come back, it feels fresh. That's that's very tricky and it's not easy to do. Like a lot of times that can become predictable, or even like a dynamic song. If you overuse the same sort of dynamic, um, it can get a bit predictable. I can't think of it, but there was an album that I bought. This was like decades ago, but like it was a metal album, so it was all really heavy stuff. But like every song started with a clean guitar. I was like, okay, I get it, but like at this point, it's not dynamic anymore. You're just doing the same stuff. Aaron, on the other hand, like you've got that bass line, which is amazing. Like anytime it comes in, I'm digging it. You have this vocal line, and I love how the vocal line. He's obviously not just copying and pasting it. Like it's sung slightly different every time. This last time it came in, it actually sounded like there was more. It felt more despondent. Like, it was more. There was more emotion, and it was more emotionally charged. Um, there was even like the voice sort of broke on a couple of words. And then that guitar riff, like whenever that thing shows up, it's a very cool sound, and it always feels fresh when it comes in. So I'm very impressed by how Aaron has been able to make each part of the song so distinct, and sort of like reshuffle them to where whenever he brings it in, it feels fresh again. Even the chorus, um, melodically speaking, it's not like your big uh, dramatic, pompous '80s chorus, but I love how he uses those precisely placed rhythmic accents to make it a hook. Something like that. I'm not getting the melody exactly, but I like how it feels almost primal. Again, it's sort of like that punching a wall rhythm. So I am now going to stop talking and let Aaron's music speak for itself.
You take away.
Like that cry and take.
I feel the same.
How feel got a little bit unstable with the pitch there.
All these promises, you promised only pain.
Spot on with the pitch there, but more distortion.
If you take away and leave me with nothing again. 'Cause you can't feel my anger, you can't feel my pain, you can't feel my torment driving me insane. I can't fight these feelings, they will bring me pain. You can't take away, make me whole again. You will feel my anger, you will feel my pain, you will feel my torment driving you insane. I can't fight these feelings, they will bring you pain. You won't take away, I'll be whole again.
It's a strange anti-advertising there. I'm gonna go back again because there's some really cool stuff. Um, I especially when you want to talk about the '90s and 2000s. Yeah, why isn't Aaron talked about more? He's way better than Kurt. I don't think he's got Lane or Cornell's range, so to speak, but he also seems to have a wider sonic palette that he can draw from. And this is my first Stain song. For all I know, there might be a lot more that he's able to draw from. But yeah, I'm super impressed. But let's go back here a bit because there were some things in that last bit that I really liked.
If you take away and leave me with nothing again.
I always managed to land on that bass line. It's that right there, like how he's like got his teeth clenched and almost spitting, like that really reminds me of Undertow. That strikes me as how like Maynard would build into one of like the shoutier, choruses. Again, with Tool, it's kind of hard. But, like the shoutier parts of like the Undertow songs, Maynard would sometimes have that like that teeth clenched distortion going on. And almost like a death metal or a harsh vocal on the way there. Okay, so my thoughts on this are, I definitely see why Danny enjoys it as much as he does. There is connective tissue there between this and Tool. When I say Tool, I'm specifically referring to Undertow. This song very much sounds like a much more straightforward, I keep wanting to say 90s or 2000s rock, but it's a much more straightforward, rock-centered version of what Undertow would be. If you just strip away the intellectual leanings, and I'm not saying this is dumb. It's not Unskinny Bob, but I'm saying like if you strip away like the proggier elements of Tool, the complexity, the sort of the strange interludes, stuff like that. You just focused on the solid rock and roll sound. This is what it would sound like. I love the punchiness of some of the bits. I really like Aaron's voice. And like I said, I love the songwriting here. Like it's so dynamic and it uses both familiarity and novelty in a very polished way, while at the same time sounding very much like a sort of gut punch song that seems to be about anger and frustration, which I can I can certainly relate to. So I am intrigued now. I know Aaron Lewis has gone into some country. I think that's interesting. I think his voice suits this kind of music exceptionally well. But perhaps on this Stained journey, I will check out some of Aaron's country work. But yeah, Mudshovel, it hit me upside the head pretty solid, and I enjoyed it. So, I suppose I'm a musical masochist. But so thumbs up to Aaron and Lewis, thumbs up to Stained. Welcome back, Danny. Hope everything went well. I dug the shit out of the song, man. It was super awesome. So, guys, as Danny loves to say, mental health is real. Be a part of the start. Like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. We love answering those. Shout out to all of our noob subscribers. Shout out to the Nightwish Army, the Aussie Army, the Tool Army. Love you guys. We'll be seeing you guys around.
Peace.
That song kicked ass, brother.